Let this captivating story help you. The Sad Princess. There was a young girl who went to her father and said to him, "Father, please teach me a valuable life lesson. As a young girl, I want to understand myself better and navigate the challenges that life throws my way." The father thought for a moment, then cleared his throat and said, "Let me tell you a story about a sad princess. Listen attentively to the story. There was a young and beautiful princess called Maya. She was radiant, happy, and her pleasure brightened everything around her. At the age of 21, Maya got married to a wealthy prince from a distant kingdom. However, soon after her marriage, she became very sad, because her husband often beat her and abused her violently. She felt alone, unloved, and misunderstood. One day, Maya visited her father and narrated her predicaments, crying to him, "I don't want to be married anymore. I want to come back home. Please, father." However, her father shook his head and said to her, "You will not leave him, he is your husband. You can't come back home, my dear." Maya then tearfully went to her mother and lamented to her, "Mother, I can't cope any longer with my marriage. Please, let me come back home." With disapproval, her mother said, "You married him for better and for worse. He will definitely change, my child." Maya then painfully went to her friends and begged them for support. "My husband beats me all the time. I want to leave him and come back home." Her friends consoled her, but said, "Marriage isn't easy, but it will get better. Stay with your husband, Maya." Maya was deeply sad, distressed, and frustrated. It pained her that nobody approved her decision to leave her husband. She prayed every day to find a solution. A few months later, Maya finally left her marriage and returned home to her parents. That is the end of my story. Upon listening to the story, the young girl asked curiously, "What is the life lesson of the story, father?" The father paused for a moment, then sighed and answered, "Yes, Maya finally came back home. But she was inside a coffin, because her husband had killed her with a knife. In fact, it was her dead body that was brought back home." At that moment, the father placed his arm around his daughter's shoulder, and whispered to her softly, "Listen, young girl. I want to teach you this valuable life lesson that will help you improve your life and make better decisions in the future. You must understand that coming back home from a failed marriage is better than coming home in a coffin. If you die in the marriage, you will be replaced immediately. Think about your family. Your husband can have another wife, but there's no way your parents can have another daughter like you. Don't listen to people who tell you to not abandon an abusive marriage. They are not the ones going through the abuse. They may think they understand, but they actually don't. Your life should be your main priority. Know when to draw the line. Know when to give up. Never gamble with your life for the sake of marriage."